See, remembering can be very painful, yeah? But within this pain, healing can be found. Therefore, the whole truth must be told first, but history shows that this hasn't been the case in the past, and humanity has been kept in an unconscious state of mind for a long time. Is it possible that remembering can become a healing process for humanity? And as you already mentioned, that this is actually the issue of 2010?
Yeah, and it is very painful, and I would like to look at that from 2 points of view. One thing we are doing is we're looking at it from a historical, archaeological, anthropological perspective. Kalaman has given us the ability to do that. And so when you look at it from that larger perspective, it's not personally painful, and it helps us wake up just by remembering what has actually occurred. And then regarding the personal pain, I think all of us have to be very, very careful. And one of the things that's going on in our reality for the last 30 or 40 years is all kinds of really great healing modalities have come forth, all kinds of bodywork techniques. And in my case, I found using past life regression really worked, because what happens when you do a past life regression session is you can look at an experience like a past life. You can go through an experience that's really, really hideous and horrific for you, but you're saying to yourself as you're experiencing, it's in the past. So past life regression allows you to look at something really painful as if it occurred during another lifetime. And we don't really have any proof about whether there's other lifetimes or not. Personally, with all of my research, I think reincarnation is true. But the important thing about this kind of therapy is by looking at it in the past, it enables us to handle the pain in the current moment. And that's why this particular therapy is so powerful for people.
Earth was shocked by electromagnetic storms and explosions as vast as a nuclear war, you said in your book. She was overwhelmed by the impact on her bioelectric field. The powers of these catastrophic events reached the most distant corners of our galaxy. And has Earth been put under quarantine as a result of this?
The idea would be that once we became a violent species, it was dangerous for the cosmos itself to have a species take this turn of events, which is easy to imagine. And so apparently what happened is there's another whole organization within the galaxy and within the universe, which exopolitics refers to as Universe Society. And apparently Universe Society literally put our planet into a state of quarantine, which simply means that we cannot go out into space until we change and become a nonviolent species. So apparently there are limitations on what we're allowed to do, like with the space program and with some of the technology that's being created at the current moment. As you know, we're in the middle of a period of really nasty technological developments, such as HAARP and some of the space programs. And yet the idea here would be that there's limitations within the cosmos itself on how far we can go. Like, we can destroy ourselves, but we aren't going to have the right to destroy other entities in space. And that's the basic belief of exopolitics. I think that most of what we hear about the extraterrestrial issue through the media and through the government is a complete falsification of the truth. In my case, I've been very much in touch with other areas in space, especially the Pleiades. And I don't experience like spaceships and technology and stuff like that. I experience beings who are in a very, very high dimension. They aren't even as physical as we are. And I think most of the technology that we see that seems to be connected with outer space is actually just a creation by our military on this planet. I'm one of those people who thinks that the Nazis invented it and the Americans stole it, and they've been building it ever since.
Yeah, well, you're not alone with this belief.
Yeah, and unfortunately, especially Night 6 was expected to be. Every other Night 6 was very traumatic. And so, and by the way, people on the other end may be wondering, when does it all end, you know? And the end of Night 6 is November 2nd. So we've got about 3 more months to go here with time resonation with the past. And regarding what are we resonating with now? Well, we're resonating basically with around 8,000 BC right now. So we're really resonating with that survivalist post-cataclysm period.
Mm-hmm.
And then, as I mentioned earlier, we're resonating with the point when the Ottoman Turks took over the Mediterranean, which is going to be very interesting from a political point of view to see what happens during the next couple of months.
Is it possible that this quarantine of Earth falls away once we are able to evolve consciously and be ready to take responsibility for ourselves and the planet we are living on?
Mm-hmm. And that's what, according to Kalaman, that's what the calendar is showing. What the calendar is showing is a distinctive shift in human consciousness in early November of this year. Mm-hmm. And then we have another time acceleration. We've had 8 time accelerations since 16.4 billion years ago, and we're going to have the 9th one in March of 2011. So according to the Mayan calendar theory, we're going to be accelerating much, much faster next year, starting in March. And now, let's go back to 1999 for a minute. And if you tune in to 1999, I think you'll remember that suddenly everything started going really fast. This is the year of Y2K, and this is the year that suddenly the internet really took over the field on the planet. Mm-hmm. And then since 1995, we've been doing BlackBerries and iPods and blah, blah, blah. And what's happening is we're becoming a technologically complex civilization. And I think during the Universal Underworld, the technology, which is next year, is going to take us to a place where the next issue is enlightenment and spiritual development at that point. And then it's logical to figure that if we get there, and we're talking about a really short period of time, but if we start to move into higher consciousness and enlightenment during 2011, then it would make sense that the quarantine would be lifted, wouldn't it? You know, because the cosmos does not want, Universal Society apparently wants this quarantine to end, but we are the ones who have to end it. And so this whole movement, and I see people, now I've been teaching for 30 years, and I see people coming together this year in a way. For instance, Conscious Convergence was last weekend, and I was teaching with Greg Braden at the Edgar Cayce Institute. And I just see signs with my data bank is really students, and I see signs of advancement in people that just are astonishing to me. I really do feel that we're getting someplace. But at the same time, I also know that we're in the middle of a very dark time right now.
When it goes about the Mayan calendar and its last wave, many people expect some physical thing to happen or a coming end. Of course, it seems we're coming to a point, but surely not the end of something, where the merging point of all those time cycles. A cycle has no beginning and no end, and everything moves in cycles in nature. But since humanity lost the connection to nature, they are also not able to understand the magic and meaning of cycles. Would you tell us how we can understand the 9th and last wave of the Mayan calendar system and how we can participate in this process of consciousness evolution?
Well, the basic ideas that you just expressed are more Kalaman's ideas than the 2012 people. There's a split in the calendar movement between people who feel that the end of the calendar is 2012 and 2011.
Yes.
And the people working with 2011, which I obviously am, are working with the idea that we're coming to a pinnacle of evolution at this point, and we're processing issues from the past in order to change in the current moment. And then the people focusing on 2012 are mainly focusing on the idea of December 21st, 2012, when the supposed galactic alignment is going to occur. And this is the part of the movement that just really bothers me the most, because the galactic alignment, which is the winter solstice sun, December 21st, rising close to the galactic alignment, the center of the galaxy, that alignment was at its closest point in 1998. And this is hardcore astronomy. All astronomers agree with this. And the closest alignment is not December 21st, 2012. So there's a big false reality in the movement at the current moment, which I think is really a shame.